And we are back. And for those of you who are wondering what happened to me last week, it's pretty much because I couldn't give a crap is what I decided. No, I just wasn't feeling great last week, but we're back on board now. So we're going to get into everything now. I've got 2 new release comics this week to make up for last week. And this week's Gateway Comics we're going to be covering. This week's Gateway Comics are going to be ones that are based on TV and movies. So, you know, if you've got someone that's sort of watched some movies that are based on comics, or if you've got someone that really likes a particular movie or TV show and they didn't even know there was a comic out there, well, you know, surprise the crap out of them. Give them a comic, show them what it's all about. So the first one I'm going to do this week, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. A lot of you would have seen the movie. I pity you if you saw the Americanized movie, because that was crap. You got to actually watch the original movie and use the subtitles. Get over it. Just watch the original movie because it's great. So yeah, that's Girl with the Dragon Tattoos, obviously based on the movie trilogy. So there's 3 of these graphic novels that are just based on the first movie. And the story is great. The artwork sort of really, I think, really finishes it nicely. Yeah, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. For anybody who doesn't know what the story is about, the story is about, God, how do I describe it? It's quite a complex story, actually. It is about, it's about an investigative reporter and a woman trying to piece together a series of murders. Hey, there we go. The actual, like, the way they have to go in depth with it is what ends up being complicated. So yeah, that's what this book is about. That's what the movie is about. So that is Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Then we've got, I know there are going to be people that have watched this movie and have just going, Gigafied Girl, what the crap? What the crap are you recommending this for? Watchmen. Bear with me. Bear with me. If you saw the movie and hated it, I beg of you, trust me, you're going to love the comic book, because the movie just didn't get it. Just didn't get it. That these were like old, retired, at the end of their days sort of superhero. The movie tried to glam it up a bit too much, in my opinion. It's basically about a group of superheroes that have retired, and they're basically, one of their number has been killed. So the whole thing is based on just like trying to solve murders, basically. And the person that it's mostly centered around is Rorschach. He's got a really cool costume, which I'm currently trying to show you. It's this guy here with the Rorschach. And one thing I did like that they did in the movie was that they showed the shape of the mask actually would change. So it was like constantly changing the shape of the Rorschach pattern on the mask. But yeah, this guy right here. The comic book is absolutely great. So I very, very strongly recommend that you read Watchmen. Even if you hated the movie with a passion, please read the comic. It's great. You'd be missing out on something if you didn't. Okay, new releases. Now we've got Twilight Zone. That's my new release from last week, The Twilight Zone. Be a good place to jump on board because it's the beginning of a new arc. And you know what? Quite frankly, this is what I love about the Twilight Zone comics, is that you'll get sort of the shorter story arcs of like 4 or 5 issues, and then it'll be a completely new story arc. It's completely unrelated to anything else that's been written before. So it's not sort of where you got like, you know, 105 issues and how in hell do I jump on board with this comic book that's 105 issues in, I won't know what's going on. Not so with the Twilight Zone, because you just jump on anytime there's a beginning of a new story arc, any 4 or 5 issues. So yeah, this one in particular is the start of this story arc is about an author who returns to his hometown and finds a younger version of himself there. So obviously I don't know what's going to happen beyond that. Yeah, but it looks to be very interesting. And yeah, Twilight Zone, always a good jumping on point for people. My second new release for this week, I'm going to go with Bitch Planet. Now, for those of you who have been watching, you'll know that I expressed my hesitation about Bitch Planet, about how much I really wanted to love it, but wasn't really sure after the first issue because I couldn't quite understand where it was going and what it was trying to accomplish, and now I do. And while I'm not completely in love with the comic book series yet, I have a better understanding of like what it's all about. And I enjoyed the second issue much more than the first issue. And you know what? I anticipate that it is going to get better. That is my anticipation, that by the time we get to around issue 3 or issue 4, and once all the exposition is done with, we're going to be starting to get into like a really, really cool story with a really, really cool main character in it. The main character is... just trying to find her. Where's she gone? Where'd she go? Oh my gosh, it shouldn't be this hard to find a main character in a comic that I'm trying to promote. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Give me a second. I know it's in here. It's in here. Just give me a second. I need to find a decent picture of her. Not like a tiny picture. I'm trying to find a decent picture of her so I can show it to you. Ah, that will do. There we go. I'm sorry that took me like 50 bajillion fucking minutes to find, but there, that's a good picture of her. It's the main character right there. The person you think was going to be the main character actually died in the first issue, so that was interesting. Kudos on that, Kelly Sue DeConnick. I don't really have any news this week, other than, oh yeah, no, all the TV shows are back. Yay! Well, not so much yay for Gotham. I'm getting a bit sick of Gotham, but I'm glad that they've got the whole Arkham Asylum thing up and running now, because that could prove to be more interesting. Like the patients there and everything else. Obviously, all of Gotham's criminals have spent some time in Arkham Asylum, so there could be more characters popping up, but it's only so much you can take of, oh my god, it's this person who turns out to be this person, and yeah, and that just like ad nauseum with every single new character they introduce, and you're just like, okay, yeah, enough already. The Flash is back. Oh my god, how much do I love The Flash? How much do I love that show? It's real, you know, the emotions are real, and he's a happy guy, you know. he's happy to have the powers and be able to use them to help people, and just it's positivity. There's positivity in the show, in Flash. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And Constantine, of course. Ooh, I love Constantine. My Sunday morning routine consists of bacon and egg sandwich and Constantine. And it is not a routine that I would ever want to go away, because it's a great combination. Yeah, Constantine's a great show. It's, I think in some senses, darker than Gotham is, definitely. But, oh, someone wants to say hello to you today. Hello, viewers. This is Marmalade. He's my baby. He's being a very big sook this afternoon. I apologise. Oof, and he's heavy. Okay, so Constantine. It is, yeah, it's fantastic. I think the show is really coming together. It sort of took a while to find its feet, I think. But I'm glad that it has, and I love the direction that it's going in. Characters are interesting. Stories are interesting. I mean, I personally always thought that the guy who drives the taxi, whose name for some reason has just completely left my mind, had an infinite number of lives to play with. But no, he doesn't. There's going to be an end to it. He's not like, he can't just die and come back to life like however many times he wants to. I think he's got 31 lives left or something like that. The last episode explained all like how that happened as well, and that was a very cool episode. So yeah, my favourite TV shows are back, and that is awesome. And that's pretty much the news I have this week. So next week we're going to be going back to some of the genres we've already visited with the comic books, with the Gateway Comics. The reason for that being, it's frigging me. I have more than two. I have more than 2 comics of each genre. Because you know what? The video cameras are great. Let's go on a little field trip. Just us, a little field trip. Here we go, going on a field trip. And these are my graphic novels right there. These are my graphic novels. See those things on the right hand side there? They're my keys from Lock and Key. Isn't that great? So I'm still showing you my comic, my graphic novels. Do you see why I have more than 2 of each freaking genre of comic? And these are my back issues in those boxes, the short boxes of all my back issues of comics. So as you can see, I have many comics. And the possibilities are endless, quite frankly. So next week, we're gonna revisit the genre that we've already visited. I'm not sure what one it will be yet. I'll let you all be surprised. Well, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again next week. Bye. Please do subscribe.